This episode of Total Drama Reviews contains clips from Total Drama Action. I do not own Total Drama Action. All rights go to FreshTV. Remember to be civil and do not be me in the comments. Seriously, it can get really messed up. Carpe diem, my name is Ultranatic, and welcome back to Total Drama Reviews. This is where I, as a lover of animation and reality shows, look over the show that combined them together the best. Is someone gonna fill me on this one here? Oh, that's what this is. Do we have to cover that one? Okay, my loyal viewers, instead of reviewing an episode with characters still competing in the game, let's instead discuss the inclusion of the Aftermath episodes. For those who have been keeping up with my Total Drama reviews, I've reviewed every episode individually to see how they work in the grand scheme of the overarching story. Because most great reality shows end up being that, having a strong, complex narrative with just a hint of craziness sprinkled throughout.
Greg talks into a coconut and thinks it's a phone.
The nature phone is really a way that I kind of keep in touch with the greater spirit out here. All right, listen, yeah, just hold my calls if anybody's in this.
And every episode of Total Drama thus far, aside from Camp Castaways, Monster Cash, and That Which Must Not Be Named, all contain characters and story elements required to understand the whole picture. Which is why the idea of having Aftermath episodes feels a little strange to me. You see, throughout the second and third seasons of Total Drama, every fifth or sixth episode would be an Aftermath, where the eliminated contestants would sit down and talk about their botched gameplays in a Regis and Kelly style talk show. The hosts in this case being contestants from the season, Jeff and Bridget. That doesn't seem fair to me. Shouldn't we get to hear their story too?
Keep the line moving, lovebirds.
I once knew a love like that.
I don't think this is the kind of action Chris had in mind. Don't you two ever get sick of sucking face?
I'm thinking that's a no.
Oh, that is their whole story. Still better development than Twilight. Okay, Gidget being the host isn't a terrible idea. They're neutral enough to where they aren't sadistic demons like Chris. And they have just enough personality to bring a little levity to the end of other people's journeys to win $1 million. And heck, these talk shows have been done a lot in the past in reality shows, but I don't pay a lot of attention to them. Maybe it's because I'm not a talk show person, or it might be that, in my book at least, when a reality contestant's story is over, it's over.
Third person voted out of Survivor. Chris, that's 4, that's enough. Need to bring me your torch. Chris, charm spoken.
Chris has it! Chris has earned himself a spot back in the game! The winner of Survivor, Edge of Extinction, Chris.
Okay, with exceptions like that, but when someone gets eliminated in a reality show and then we have a talk show chat with them after the fact, it's kind of like seeing someone die in a movie or TV show, and then we see their interview to get to the pearly gates. I'm sure it's interesting, but it's probably not necessary. However, this is all a me thing. If you like seeing this type of stuff, that's cool. There is still merit in hearing more from these people, like behind the scenes issues and moments we didn't see. And there is potential within these episodes to give closure to some storylines, and heck, some things within the Aftermath could come back into play later. So you know what? Let's give them a fair shot. This is the first ever Total Drama Aftermath. So we open with Jeff and Bridget introducing the show.
We are so psyched to be here.
Yeah, speak for yourselves.
I was speaking for myself.
Okay, point to Jeff for a good comeback. Also, hi Eva! Yeah, the characters who didn't get on Total Drama Action will serve as our peanut gallery. You've got Eva, Ezekiel, Cody, Tyler.
Here you are, dude. Would somebody please tell Lindsay?
Again, a very funny snub from Jeff. Unless he's being serious and somebody actually has to tell Lindsay that, who cares, Courtney?
We are gonna sue the pants off this show, Michael.
Whoops.
You probably should have confiscated her PDA if you didn't want to interrupt the show with threats of a lawsuit. Also, Courtney, does this warning in movie theaters to turn off your cell phone mean nothing to you? Yeah, this isn't a movie, it's a TV show screen, but I'm sure the same rules still apply. We don't need a completely annoying ringing sound to be in all of our ears, punchline Katie and Sadie.
Oh my gosh, so super excited to be here.
Why couldn't the Thanos finger snap take both of them out too? Okay, to be fair, Katie and Sadie aren't that bad here, I guess. I definitely still don't like them in this episode, but yeah, they're just side characters here. Which is a promotion they don't deserve, but a demotion I'll accept, if that makes any sense. On the plus side, to balance them out, Noah's still here! Yes, his snarky wit and deadpan delivery will be so refreshing to see when they're around. Just as an appetizer, let's hear one of his great lines this season.
I recently decided to start eating healthy.
Yeah, right.
Well, that wasn't bad, but maybe something a little more appetizing. What do you mean by that? Am I being mooshed with here? No, apparently I'm not. Noah does not speak at all throughout the entire season except that one sentence in the finale. Every other time you see him, he just sits there, maybe reacts with facial expressions, but otherwise does nothing.
This is intolerable!
I can't exaggerate this enough, but Justin had less lines than Noah did in TDI, and had more presence there than Noah does here. At least Justin had the Flashdance homage and Not Quite Famous, but Noah has nothing here. It's like having an episode of Batman with the Joker mentioned and even shown a few times, but when you do see him, he's just moseying around Arkham Asylum doing nothing. That's what this is. Biggest waste of a character ever. Speaking of waste of characters.
Aw, poor Trent, right? What happened to him is just so wrong.
I barf in my mouth a little every time I think of what happened to him. Oh my gosh, me too!
Well, I barf a little in my mouth whenever I think of both of you. I don't care what happened to Trent this season, I still like him better than I like the two of you. I mean, seriously, can we get a character worth watching on screen?
Izzy's time on Total Drama Action may have been short.
That'll do nicely.
But it was a real wild ride. Ultimately, it was Duncan that killed Izzy's chances when the two took to the stage.
But ever the diva, Izzy will be back for more.
Back for more, what does that mean? Also, you didn't call her E-Scope in that clip. I should have figured as much.
Our first guest has impersonated a grizzly and was caught peeing in a pool. Currently number 8 on the RCMP's Most Wanted.
And yet she still does TV interviews. Well, I guess if Arthur Fleck did it. E-Scope wouldn't do anything like that, though, of course.
Right. Okay, you are so lucky that my license to kill is currently expired.
Have security do a weapons check on her anyways, just to be safe. So E-Scope makes her grand entrance after breaking the
I'm on TV!
third wall and grabbing some quick food and putting it in her bra. I love this character so much. And the banter begins.
Awesome to have you, but bummer about the show. Gotta be tough losing out on a million big ones.
Yeah, well, you would know.
Not even kidding, E-Scope's interview makes this episode for me. Although I'm fairly confident most of her lines were written for Noah, but having her say them instead is a more than acceptable substitute. And she's still her delightfully wacky but psychotic self as well. Watch.
Firecracker! That's my old boyfriend, Graham! He got a restraining order against me last year. We were in the courtroom, and the judge was all like,
You cannot come within 200 meters of the plaintiff or you shall suffer the consequences of this courtroom.
Again, just making sure I've got this correct. You join a highly watched reality show despite being a criminal on the run, and you have an ex-boyfriend who issued a restraining order against you come to a talk show where they know you'll be present. Nothing about this makes any sense, and me yelling about it makes it sound like I'm complaining. I'm not. This is hilarious. Who cares if it makes sense or not? It just cracks me up.
Izzy, how did it feel to be the first one voted off the show?
I don't know, Jeff. How did it feel?
We were the first ones voted off the show.
Was it disappointing? Humiliating?
Sure it was disappointing. I mean, it's like you've got dreams for this money and... Hey man, I'm supposed to be asking the questions.
A regular Dr. Sidney Friedman, that one.
I was outfitted with a lie deterrent microchip that emits shockwaves at the first hint of dishonesty. That's a really nice top bridge. Ow!
I will assume this chip was inserted in you after Up the Creek, seeing as you used to be a pathological liar.
You mean all that trash you were talking was true?
No, just the RCMP part.
I think it's time we play a fun little game called Truth or Hammer! Works like this. We ask you a question, and if you give the wrong answer, a huge hammer will swing down and knock you clear out of your chair.
I have so many questions to how that contraption works. I don't need any answers, though. Bring down the hammer!
Okay, season 2 started off so well for you. Where'd things go wrong?
I think it was when I turned down that secret alliance with Chef.
Have a time.
What a letdown! Wait. What was she being asked about?
You mean Chef actually tried to form a secret alliance with you?
Uh-huh. He said he'd help me win this thing if I shared the money with him.
Huh? Wait, I think we've got a never-before-seen clip.
I'll help you man up and win this thing. We split the prize money 50-50.
Hi-ya! I don't think so.
Whoa!
You know what? Excellent payoff. A stupid twist by Escope, as if that's our character for her.
Should we move on to Trent?
Yeah, on to Trent.
Speak of the devil.
Trent is such a stand-up guy. He did not deserve what happened.
Okay, so see if you can follow me on this one. Because Trent got dumped by his girlfriend for totally understandable reasons and got voted out by his team for throwing challenges, the episode tries paying him sympathetically, despite deliberately making him look crazier than Escope, which is quite the statement. No, seriously, how do you go from this?
I choose the beautiful Lindsay. I'm Trent first and a killer grip second. Which grip wants to take the heat? Got anything in a G?
To people saying this.
Aw, poor Trent, right? What happened to him is just so wrong.
And yes, there are some contestants in reality shows who get the sympathetic treatment despite being asshats during parts of it. But there's usually some kind of transition from point A to point B, but not with Trent. He went from Norman Bates psycho to, aw, but his only real crime was loving his mother.
Trent is such a stand-up guy. He did not deserve what happened.
What game are you playing, Total Drama Action? Because it sure as hell ain't the one in your title.
Let's hear from everyone else.
I guess naturally the characters within the episode are split between siding with Trent or Gwen. Katie and Sadie side with Trent. I guess shit sticks together.
We felt so terrible for Trent. I barf in my mouth a little every time I think of what happened to him.
Only it changed their minds halfway through the episode.
At first, I was totally on Team Trent, but seeing that video reminded me of how devastated Gwen was when Trent kissed Heather.
You mean when Heather kissed Trent?
Same thing.
No it is not. That's like saying you got our fave blue swimsuit.
Nobody cares.
I'm definitely Team Gwen. She's hot, and I have her bra.
And where does Courtney fall in this?
I'm on Team Gwen, not because I like her, but because Trent is a loser. By choice.
Thank you, Courtney. Someone's finally speaking sense. Okay, she's not the most likable character this season, but at least she's watching the same show I am. And heck, even Jeff and Bridget are at odds picking different sides.
Bridget's on.
Team Trent.
And Jeff is on.
Team Gwen. Woo-hoo.
Aww, trial by triarm triathlon, anyone?
I'm not sure I'm ready for the woohoos yet. Woo?
We'll work on it.
Woohoo!
Now that's what I call a woohoo! Woohoo!
Okay, still a little cringeworthy, but a sweet callback all the same. But that's not the only reason they're at odds. There's also the foot brand breath mint that Jeff put in his mouth. Breath mint from the brand foot in his mouth. You get it? Foot in mouth. He says something stupid to Bridget.
Trent isn't innocent in this. What about the time he kissed Heather?
That was Heather's fault. She tricked Trent into kissing her.
A dude hardly needs to be tricked into kissing the hottest chick on the show.
You mean Trent kissed Bridget? Oh, you were referring to Heather as the hottest girl on the show. Huh. I assume when you said that Trent kissed the hottest girl on the show, that somehow meant that Trent kissed your girlfriend. You see what I did there?
I cannot believe you just said Heather was the hottest girl on the show.
Yeah, why isn't Lindsay in contention for that title? So after a break for commercials, Jeff and Bridget take a break from being a couple. And Escope steps in as moderator and unofficial host, which will be about as dull as a Toy Story film starring Spinell, and that only good things can come from this idea.
Thanks for all your texts and emails, and feel free next time to use ESP. I'm psychotic.
I think you mean psychic.
I'm pretty sure my therapist said psychotic. Okay.
You crazy, ain't you?
Should we check on Trent first?
Alright, I forgot to mention, Jeff calling Heather the hottest girl on the show in front of his girlfriend was not the only stupid thing he said that night. Heck, it wasn't even the first. Though the first one he did say is kind of forgivable, as he accidentally let slip how Gwen told the grips to vote Trent off, and Trent hears the whole thing.
Gwen went behind Trent's back and told his team to vote him off. That doesn't mean... Whoa. What?
Oh, man, what? Are you kidding? Gwen did what? This is a joke, right?
Whoa. Did someone not tell the dude?
The production crew needs to get their shit together, because this ain't the first time that's happened either.
Let's just say I'll do anything to win.
Wow. Dude is as crafty as he is good looking. Maybe we're related. He wishes.
No, Chris. No, I don't.
Which one of you geniuses left the two-way mic on?
Should we check on Trent first?
Scott McCord, voice actor of Owen and Trent, what emotion are you going for in this scene? Because your sobs sound like fits of laughter. And fake laughter at that. I guess you could stretch that as a coping mechanism, but it still doesn't fit the scene. Imagine if I reacted that way when I'm sad about something. Yes, I referenced Benel twice in my review. She's a national treasure. So Gidget gave a passive-aggressive recap of Gwen's relationship where... hold on, let me fact-check this one.
Trent only had eyes for Gwen when he sang her a song at the talent show. What a sweetheart.
Yeah, he was a real sweetheart when Gwen was buried alive and Trent forgot to dig her up.
The beach incident was totally forgotten.
Gwen, you did it. She's all right. She's all right.
I trusted Trent once. He left me buried alive on the beach. Don't talk to me.
Are you still mad about the whole burying you alive thing?
Yeah.
Forgotten my ass!
Until Heather came up with a plan to kiss Trent in front of Gwen.
Gwen was devastated.
So was Trent.
Okay, I know you're both mad at each other, but what tone are you two going for? You both sound like John Malkovich having an argument with himself.
Trent made it up to Gwen by supporting her in the final challenge.
He ran alongside her carrying a rock.
It was sweet.
Whose ass didn't I kiss?
Hello, it's Osborne Cox. Who the fuck are you?
Don't I say everything like I just learned how to speak and flaunting it?
Gwen dumped him and told his team to vote him off.
He was sabotaging his team's challenges. The Grips would have voted him off anyway.
Wow, how can Jeff accidentally let slip to Trent how Gwen told his team to vote him off and tell his girlfriend that Heather is the hottest girl on the show and still be responsible for saying the smartest thing in the episode? Someone else put two and two together.
I'm on Team Gwen, not because I like her, but because Trent is a loser. By choice.
Okay, Courtney's good. So we check on Trent again, who, overcome with grief and sorrow,
You went behind my back in the worst kind of attack.
has become the dark-haired demon child of Ed Sheeran and Louis Capaldi get the guitar out of his hand and put duct tape over his mouth. Well, he at least stopped singing to do his interview proper, and we get down to where things started going wrong.
I'm not really sure. Things were going great until Gwen and I were split on different teams.
Guys, Trent could be standing in front of a mirror and still have no self-awareness. Things were going wrong before that, dude. Remember this?
I like that movie where the aliens take over the government.
Oh, dude, you are so going down.
It was a good movie, right, Gwen?
Okay, this is kind of awkward.
But, with that said, you are about to see Trent at his absolute best this season. And I'm not being sarcastic. Here, he's humble, grounded, and owns up to his mistakes.
I guess somewhere I decided Gwen was more important than the money. I don't know, I guess I just lost my game. I really let my team down. Sorry, Grips.
I'll give him a little bit of respect back just for that. I mean, as mad as I am by his storyline, in the end it mostly only did damage to himself. But also partially to Gwen, so he's not totally off the hook either.
I gotta ask you about the whole number 9 thing, dude.
4 letters in your name, 5 letters in Trent's. Put them together and you get...
9!
The number 9 thing has nothing to do with Gwen. I had this toy train my granddad gave me as a kid. Right before he died, one of the wheels fell off, so there were only 9. I was devastated. So my mom told me 9 was now my lucky number.
Okay, I kinda like this. It adds a bit of good character development to Trent, takes out the creepy undertones of it being connected to his stalker man, and shows a strong family side to Trent. I can appreciate that. That being said, has anybody else noticed that 9 isn't even remotely his lucky number? Yeah, I guess mom just told him that to make him feel better as a sweet reminder of the times with his grandfather. I respect that, but Trent took it way too much to heart. And given his obsession to both Gwen and that number led to the downfall of his game, I'd say it didn't help with anything except delaying the inevitable. So if anything, 9 is your unlucky number, and I say that for reasons beyond the second season. Remember Search and Do Not Destroy, an episode I so wish I could forget? Not falling for that one again. Also, I have the Rejuvenator, so What would you hit me with? But in that episode where Heather kisses Trent in front of Gwen, Lashana rallies everyone to vote Trent off after Heather becomes immune. And presumably Heather's alliance was doing the same despite Gwen being her more obvious target, but I've already beaten that dead horse. So with that information, let's do a little math. Oh. 11 people were in the game. Obviously Trent didn't vote for himself, and Gwen reveals later that, for reasons never explained, that she didn't vote for him either. We don't have full details on the other votes, but presumably every other vote was for Trent. So all 11 campers except 2 people voted for Trent, meaning Trent theoretically received 9 votes for elimination in Total Drama Island.
That's impossible! Search your feelings, you know it to be true. No!
Unless someone meant this as one of the greatest pieces of irony in the history of writing, someone needs to tell Trent that he's been lied to his entire childhood. Or I could just not be a dick and leave well enough alone. Do you all think I'm a dick? You don't count! Well, while I still don't approve of Trent's descent, which, by the way, this episode was subtitled as, kind of like subtitling the 3rd Spider-Man film as Spider-Man 3, The Death of Uncle Ben, we're way ahead of you on that one. That sob story turns everyone else's opinion of him the positive.
Oh, I am so on Team Trent. Me too! Can I switch teams?
Which is fake! I mean, Kane said he had been more indecisive than a weather van and a tornado this whole episode, so I'll give them a pass, but what's Courtney's excuse? She was Team Gwen for objective reasons, but now all of a sudden that backstory changes everything? If I told you Harold had a tragic backstory, would that make you like him after what he did to you?
There you are, you little traitor!
Ow, 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 ow!
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It's time to check in on our webcams.
Steve, the Yeti?
How's it going, dude?
Chris McClain is the best host ever. How'd you get your own show?
Yo, Chris, if I wanted to take a hot tub by myself, Oh, you on the webcam?
Chris?
Don't believe a word he says. The girl's crazy.
So, Chris is so insecure he will dress up as mythological but proven to exist creatures just to garner support for himself, all while planning to take a hot tub bath with Chef Hatchet, who tries denying the undeniable footage of his would-have-been deal with E-Scope?
Oh, I don't think so.
If you'd used this rhyme to make Trent hilariously pathetic, it would have worked wonders, but you just wasted it here. And who am I kidding? I love this moment. And just when you thought these characters couldn't get more desperate...
and we've got a call. Hello?
Gwen and Trent stink! Go Team Eva!
You're on Team Eva?
Eva should have won the 100 grand!
And I'll pound anyone who even...
Eva?
Again, hilarious, but what did I say about cell phones? Yeah, who am I to talk? I'm so desperate I clearly ripped off this segment of theirs.
It's time for... That's Gonna Leave a Mark!
Again, only counting moments where I would have died or been hospitalized.
My leg! And here he's about to take it again! Trent, I know you want to lay the guy out for what he said to Gwen, but I think the monster's about to beat you to the punch! My leg! Ouch! Now that's gonna leave a mark!
So after that, animated version of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Do you guys think I could sing a song?
No! Let the characters keep their cell phones, but give the guitar to Belushi. He'll know what to do with it.
You ripped my heart out of my soul.
Or let him rip off ours by Goo Goo Dolls.
You never text me back anymore.
Maybe not lyrically, but definitely structurally, because those sound like the exact same chords.
You ripped my heart out of my soul. Now I remember the nights we stared into the sky, but now you make me feel like dirt. Though I never told you that, summer girl, you were my entire world.
This results in Gidget reconciling because they're saps, and the episode ends. Or they keep kissing into the night because essentially their characters are still the softcore porn stars. I don't care if that's what reality shows are when you boil them down to their essence, it's still pretty sad.
Here are the keys. Could you lock the door when you are done? Just lock it. Thank you.
So that was the aftermath, Trent's descent. Probably one of the weakest titles of the season so far, but one of the better episodes writing-wise. Obviously, it still has two glaring flaws named Katie and Sadie, although definitely not their worst outing. But the episode still has awkward moments, untapped potential, and a stupidly flimsy attempt to get us like Trent after everything he's done. But, to the episode's credit, this is easily his best appearance, which, yeah, make him likable after he's out of the game. That was smart. Still, the episode had a lot of strong comedy through its side discussions, guest appearances, and especially from Isco. I'm totally open to more of these in the future, no matter where they go, even if no eliminations come from them. So, while the episode might be titled Trent's Descent, at least it's taken a few proud steps of its ascent. Weird, I was expecting an episode with Katie, Sadie, and TDA Trent to be terrible, but this might be the least angry I've felt towards an episode this entire season. It's kind of refreshing, actually. And hey, next episode, Trent will not be in it. We're back to the cast that's still competing in the game, and with a few exceptions, that cast is solidly entertaining. So, with Trent out of the way, that means next episode's gonna be really good, right? We're gonna have a talk next episode.